we operate 12 patients, but we are the result of 6 patients so far.
Have you actually looked at the genes found in the patients?
This is a very good, but yes, we are carrying out now also the genotype of this patient, but we didn't see any difference because, of course, we have only 6 patients, or 12 patients, and with this severe selection criteria, it's impossible to select also the genotype. This, of course, is post-operative research to see if the patient with some genotypes has some good results compared with the positive patient with other genotypes. But it's impossible to select patients also with the genotype so far. Yeah, I can. Something about the cost, because I think it's very interesting. We obtain a grant from the government of the Italian government, a particular grant for high technology research. And we implanted the first 5 patients with this grant. The grant was about $400,000 because at that time this system cost about $100,000. Now we operated other 6-7 patients with donation by banks, by foundation, by association of blind patients, but the cost now I think is about $120,000. This is I think one of the first problems for the surgery to obtain money. But yesterday I received an email from a French colleague for the first time in French. They obtained the reimbursement, complete reimbursement by the government with this implant. This is the first time. This is very important because the French government gave the reimbursement for this implant. Maybe this can help out also you to obtain something from the government. No, I can do this is very important because for the first time, the one national government gave the reimbursement for this kind of surgery. It's very expensive, but of course, if you think at the cost of the blind people for the society, if you give to these people the autonomy, because this is a discussion that I had many times with my politicians, you understand why this parameter can cost so much.
That's what when I spoke to Amit Kukreja from Second Sector Europe, he mentioned that why not get some grant from government, but that's why Dr. Kumar is working on it. And we have unfortunately 500,000 RP patients in India, and all will not require the implant, but I think paralyzed person will be also quite a lot. So in spite of government viewing, there's going to be a problem. And plus, the patient expectation is very, very high here because we have one patient in Calcutta, he was asking, he wants to get the implant. So Amit is arranging through Marco Mura to get it done in Netherlands, where he can come there and do. But the patient wants to know whether his wife can see and walk. So that's the problem.
You have to be very clear with the patients, because otherwise you have to find about coastal experience from the patient. Very clear. The next implant, I think the next implant with 240 electrodes. We will have the next implant, I think, in 4 years, in 3 years. Everything depends about the sales of this implant. Of course, as the company will sell many implants, of course, the research will improve and increase. But one of the major problems of this implant is, of course, the patient has a very narrow visual field, only 12 degrees visual field. They have to scan to see the image. With more electrodes, we can have more visual field, larger visual field, and of course more definition. Definition depends many times from the software. We receive, for example, the 8 versions of the software, and of course the 3 versions of the camera. The software is completely every time we change it. They change the software of the implant. This last research are coming from new software. But the new version of the implant we will have in 3 years. But I always say to my patient, if you wait the last computer, buy last computer, you buy the computer. No, because the technology is terrible. Because of course, like our machine, our cars. No, if you every month or every 6 months we have a new model, more sophisticated, more, of course, more intelligent. For this reason, I don't like to discuss about the 50,000 electrode or 10,000 electrode. I always say this implant today, this implant has this possibilities. I can give you this now. Yeah, we cannot think about the future, because of course in 10 days, in 10 years, in 20 years we can have an electronic eye maybe, or cortical implant to completely eliminate all the problems from the optic nerve or from the eye. This will be the future, but now today we can offer this. I saw the first prototype type cortical implant. Of course, it's a completely different surgery. For portion, unfortunately, it's never surgery. But maybe can be another solution for other kind of blind people.
Would you advise this for the patient suffering from schizophrenia and depression under medication for about more than 15 years?
But with the RP,
Yeah.
the retinitis pigmentosa.
Yeah.
And what is the vision?
This is quite, she can go out now.
No, that's what I said. No, for the vision, when the vision is much better than light perception, this implant we are not recommending. One, because of the cost. Second, it's mainly meant for both eye blind people. So, but to answer your question, if you have a RP with the bare light perception, I think one of the criteria is we want the schizophrenia. I don't know if it's a contraindication, but any other mental disorder, I think they are not implanting because of the training required. You will answer that.
Unfortunately, many times this retinitis pigmentosa professor is teaching this is associated with other problems like mental problem or maybe deafness problem. This is another criteria of exclusion, because of course the patient has to collaborate, has to follow your indication. The follow-up, the follow-up period is very important, because of course the patient has to know how to use the implant, and for this reason have to follow the indication of the therapist. This is very important. For this reason we exclude also that people.
We also need as an artificial others to team. One of the criteria mentioned by the second slide is we need to have a clinical psychologist also to train the patient, and also they say that the patient has to follow for 8 to 9 months on training, and then test the results, and then the patient has to be so patient to follow up all that.
Here patient have deafness also.
Yeah, no, right now, either way, she is seeing, so let her enjoy what is she is seeing.
I'm having a retina detachment.
Give them right.
Hello sir.
Yeah.
I'm having a retina detachment. I'm having it for more than 15, 16 years. I come to you itself for the checkup. I come with my dad.
Yes.
My name is Krish Iyer.
Okay.
And is it possible to do something for that?
No. This is only for a person with attached retina in a retina screener today.
Okay.
As Dr. Stano said, it can probably be available in the future, which we don't know. But today, this particular thing is not for all blind. As the other person asked even about optic nerve, related to primary optic nerve disease, we can't still do. Only when the photoreceptor layer is affected and the rest of the optical system, that means the rest of the layer of retina and the optic nerve and the brain is working, the entire circuit, then only if you put the implant, it will work.
But then I am blind by one eye, absolutely, as in the nerve is dead.
Yes.
So, is it possible?
That's what I'm saying. This is present available only for blind in both eyes. Because this implant, you need only 12-degree vision is coming, and then you have to train for what is the vision, and then you have to move the eye, scan the eye to see than somebody sitting like that. But when you see the other eye normal, it will not, and even in a normal eye, one eye less vision, the brain supersedes the lesser image. So it will suppress it. So it is not useful for one eye is normal. I think you should enjoy that right now. There is another work going on, like one of the, as we put in the first slide, there's a stem cells research is going on. This is from the biomedical and electronic engineering. And there are other things going on, stem cell and also the gene therapy, which, but that's again for not for retinal detachment. It's for the other variants of genetic disorders, because most of the retinal disorders where we don't have treatment are genetic. And that's why one day, with a gene therapy, we already clinical trial have been started in London on gene therapy for Stargardt's disease, but and we have to wait for the results. But one day, I think the three will work for many of them, if not for all. But for retinal detachment, repair is the only way, and provided the optic nerve is good. If the optic nerve is not working, then it doesn't work. We still have, yes.
Any experience of this implant in ARMD patients?
Has anybody implanted an ARMD? No. The inclusion criteria is retinitis pigmentosa.
One choroidemia. The first trial they implanted on the patient with choroidemia.
There's another genetic disorder called choroideremia, where there's a big foundation in Europe, because a lot of patients with choroideremia, there's a foundation, I think in the US, there's a foundation in the US, like we have in India for retinitis pigmentosa patients, but at Moldova they are, but the choroideremia they are starting, but not for age-related macular degeneration. In India, a lot of drug therapies and gene therapies are on the trial. Yes, better. That's why I called you. When you do the first implant, you'll have it. Okay, so if there are no questions, then thank you very much. And we will finish. So thanks a lot, and thanks Anna for the wonderful talk. Thank all of you for coming, and thank Tripla for the wonderful arrangement, and thank the Wellington Institute and Ayatollah Youth for doing all that. Thank you very much.